Glad you could join us. Let's get cooking tonight. Enjoy.
Welcome to Reins. Thanks for your support.
It's so great to see you. Thanks for coming. Now let's serve up and spread love.
Hi, folks. Here's hoping that Reins of Life can fill you with food and love today.
Hi, thank you for coming. We're glad you're here.
Welcome. Bud and I are so happy you could join us tonight.
Hello. Thank you for supporting Reins.
Glad you're here, and I really hope you enjoy the show.
Amazing things happen at Reins of Life. Thanks for supporting us.
With all your help, we make this place happen. And I'd like to thank you personally very much for all that you do.
You made my day. Thank you for being here.
Hi, good evening. I'm Bob Montgomery from WBST 22. And yeah, what a year it's been, huh? It's disappointing on the one hand that we all can't be together, but what a great opportunity we have tonight, and such a fun idea for the folks at Reins of Life that put together this opportunity tonight to do a little cooking with Chef April Howell. Of course, food, drinks, that's all part of the Reins of Life experience, but it's also, of course, the Reins of Life story, the mission statement, the message that's most important that everyone needs to know, everyone needs to hear it. Some of you have heard it before, but it's always good to get a reminder because this really is life-changing for so many kids, young adults, and families. This is the 23rd annual Kelsey Marie Meekhof Memorial. And you know, it's amazing. I'm honored to have the opportunity to do this year after year. Mark and Carla Meekhof, I guess, can't find anybody else, and they've given me the opportunity and really the honor to be involved in this year after year. It's been probably 10, 15 years or more since I've been involved, and I'm happy to be here again on this Saturday night. Now, obviously, it's a little different than years past, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have some fun. In fact, it should be a lot of fun, an opportunity to do a little at-home cooking with your friends and your family, and we hope you just have a great night. We thank you so much for being with us today. The mission statement's pretty simple at Reins of Life: to improve the quality of life for children and adults with disabilities through equine-assisted activities. It's horseback therapy, and it's an opportunity to get these children and young adults to really grow and thrive physically and mentally, and you'll hear some amazing stories through the course of the night. Of course, we need to say a big thank you to the platinum sponsor tonight, and that is Tire Rack. The silver sponsors are the South Bend Clinic, the University of Notre Dame Career and Success Academy, and NIPSCO. Of course, a lot of work goes into every Reins of Life event, but whether it's this year, this virtual year, or whether it's the typical events or just the everyday activities, the person who kind of makes everything run is Dorota Janik. She is the executive director.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Dorota Janik and I'm executive director for Reins of Life. And tonight I welcome you to our cooking show with Chef April Howell. Every year around this time of the year, we host Kelsey Meekhof Memorial Dinner. This year, however, like everyone else, we had to adjust and change. And instead, we are cooking delicious Valentine's meal. But the message is the same: love does conquer all. And it is seen in every aspect of Reins of Life, through our riders and parents, of our participants and riders, through our supporters and donors, awesome, generous, dedicated volunteers, through the Meekhof family supporting us through all these years, through our communities, and the team at Reins of Life. Despite all the challenges of 2020, we did accomplish a lot, and tonight I would like to share with you all the big and small successes of Reins of Life. Enjoy!
All right, so we're back, and usually on a Saturday you don't like to look backwards because you're just starting your weekend, but this time we are going to look back. We're going to go to Friday, as in Friday the horse, one of the horses from Reins of Life, and Holly, who is the lead instructor at the South Bend location for Reins of Life. She is also with Path International's a certified therapeutic riding instructor, and here comes Friday. Hey, Friday.
Hey, Bob,
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Wanted to bring you a little Valentine's
thank
Day
you, Friday.
special.
Thank you very
Little
much.
Snack for you and him
Yeah,
in there
awesome.
to celebrate
Awesome,
the
awesome.
loving season.
Yes. So I'm going to stand over here, and we're going to talk to you a little bit because you're the lead instructor. So what does that mean? What does that entail for you?
So we have two lead instructors, one at our South Bend barn and one at our Michigan City barn, Amanda Bubb. And we are kind of in charge of overseeing the health of the herd, bringing in any new animals, any updated training that the animals need, as well as like our Horse Buddies program that helps to keep all of these animals healthy.
Yeah.
So vet visits, farrier visits.
I agree. We agree.
Friday says mainly looking after him.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, obviously it's about the horses, but it's mostly about the young adults. It's about, of course, the kids who are out there. Tell us about what this means for you.
I mean, this fundraiser in general, the Meekhof dinner, it's one of my favorite fundraisers of the year, and it brings to light to so many people what we do, that we are more than a pony ride.
Yeah.
What special horses like Friday can do for kids and adults, enriching their lives and helping them achieve kind of their daily social goals.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about what you see on a daily basis as the kids come in and the transformation they make over time, and the kids and adults, and the transformation from the time they first get on, sometimes reluctantly, until the time when they're maybe ready to graduate, and the life change that's happened with them.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes it's so hard to put into words what's going on, kind of a thing. From students that, one of the main reasons Friday comes into buildings is because I have students that are too scared to go out to the barn to meet horses.
Okay.
So he kind of comes to their environment, introduces himself in their world. But I've gotten to see students make their first steps.
Yeah.
I've gotten to see students say their first words. And I've gotten to see the look in parents' faces when their students or when their children achieve something that they've kind of been told their whole life is unachievable.
Right. So when you look at the horses, obviously, for us, is a horse. For the kids, it's a life-changing, but you also look at it for the need that is out there as well for the horses. You have to take care of the horses, you have to feed the horses, you have to shelter the horses,
yes.
And that's why tonight is so important.
Yeah, it is, and there's a ton of different ways that you can support us as well. Out there, the silent auction right now is going on. You can go to reinsoflife.org and click the pink banner. That will lead you to our Serve Up and Spread Love event. On there, there's a link for the silent auction where you can peruse through the many, many cool things that we have going. And there's also a link at the top right corner that is to donate, Feed the Need. And in there, you can help sponsor a horse like Friday, so you can be the one helping supply him with his care.
We're going to go to Chef April Howell in just a few minutes, but first, some of the driving forces that we have talked about over the course of this evening. Of course, it's about Kelsey Marie Meekhof, and the Meekhof family has been so instrumental in helping Reins of Life continue to fulfill its mission. It takes about $600,000 a year to run Reins of Life, and the families pay very little, if any, in some cases, as far as the riding and the therapy that they get from Reins of Life. And it's because of events like tonight that they're able to do that with little to no cost to the riders who are involved. And a lot of the reason is because of people like Dr. Mark Meekhof and his wife Carla. They do so much for the organization. Of course, they've been personally involved in the organization as well. Let's go now and hear from them for the Meekhofs.
Thank you, April and Bob. We appreciate all you've done for Reins of Life and what you've done tonight for this program. We want to welcome everybody to our virtual event tonight.
It's very fitting that this is our 23rd year of doing Reins of Life, and Serve Up and Spread Love is perfect for the type of year that we've all been through, and it's very fitting for Reins of Life. For Kelsey, Reins of Life was love. It was her very favorite thing to do, and because of the staff and the community, the volunteers, and the horses, It gave her a very favorite place to go. It taught her how to speak. It taught our girls patience, love, and kindness towards all. And I want to thank everybody for being here and supporting Reins of Life for 23 years.
Well said, Carla. Thank you again, everybody, for attending tonight's event. Let's cook!
Let's cook. All right. The star of the night, Chef April Howell from Martin Supermarkets. She is the School of Cooking Director, first female president of the local American Culinary Federation, voted Chef of the Year 3 times by the local organization. And we're ready to eat. Chef April, take it away.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. What a fantastic night. I am super excited to cook along with you. And so we're going to be doing a lot of back and forth action. I hope you really enjoy the night. But first off, to get you started, I want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 400 degrees, because once we start cooking, we want to make sure everything is hot and ready to go. And then we're going to be starting off, so you can see the mise en place here. So mise en place just means everything is in its place. So we're going to start with the chimichurri sauce. So all your ingredients, including your parsley, your oil, a little chili flake for some spice. And then we're also going to do the bacon rosette. So if you want to make sure you have your mise en place ready for that, when I come back here in just a few minutes, we're going to get started cooking. So thank you all for joining tonight, and let's cheers to a great night. Back to you, Bob.
All right, April, thanks very much. Yeah, that wine looks pretty good right about now. So just a couple of really quick stats. It costs $125 for Reins of Life to provide these rides for these children. That's per ride. Now, the kids, as we mentioned, pay really a small fee to get into the program. Most of what you give tonight, if not all of it, is what makes tonight possible, taking care of the horses, providing those opportunities for the kids. Your donations will cover pretty much the remaining costs and really make that magic possible. Again, if you're not comfortable with the website or whatever reason, if you're having an issue with it, we do have a phone bank going as well. That phone number is 833-970-4483. Again, that's 833-970-4483. You also have the opportunity to donate or fund the need button on the Give Grove homepage, which is also accessible at the reinsoflife.org webpage as well. The silent auction items are going to be live until 8 o'clock tonight. So bid early, bid often, kind of like Chicago elections, vote early, vote often. But in this case, we're going to bid early and bid often. We are ready to keep cooking. Chef April, we're going to get you to work. We're all hungry. Back to you.
All right, I am so ready for you. So what we're going to do to make our awesome chimney sauce, we're going to take the parsley, and I just cut off like the big long roots off the end, and you're going to stuff that into whatever kind of food processor that you have. So I have just a little mini food processor, and if you can fit both bunches, you'll want to use both bunches, because this will actually just kind of blitz down into a very thick but a smaller amount paste. So you definitely want to use them if you can. So get all those little pieces in there. You're going to add everything to this food processor. So I know some people will use like a larger food processor, or maybe you're going to use a bullet. That's totally fine, whatever you have in your kitchen. I'm going to add my 4 garlic. Now remember, everything is in your kit. I hope you enjoyed your kit. Myself and Carla and Dr. Meekhof, we had a great time putting them all together, and they looked beautiful. So I hope that you really enjoyed it and you went through, and it was like a present, right? So your garlic, you're going to go ahead and throw it into your food processor. We're going to add in our red wine vinegar. It's 3 tablespoons. It's already measured out for you. Depending on how spicy you like it, you're going to add your chili flakes. So this is about 1 teaspoon. If you like it spicy, go for it. If you don't, just kind of knock it back a little bit. And then your oil. So you have about a half a cup or so of oil that we gave you in your kit. You might need a little bit more. So at some point today when we start cooking your steak, you might need a little bit more oil. So I would get that out now. We're going to go ahead and cover this up. It's going to be a little bit noisy. And if we're all going to do this together, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to take off that lid. Give it a nice little stir. Now, if it's a little bit too thick for your liking, you can definitely add some more oil in now. I'm going to let this go just for a little bit again. This chimichurri sauce is an Argentinian chimichurri, so it has a lot of spice and flavor to it. You should have added your oregano in there too, and I had already picked that apart, so I didn't mention that, but you're going to pick off the leaves and throw that in there as well, okay? Awesome. All right, the noisy part is done. Now what you're going to do is take out my blade. Okay, and then I already have my flank steak right here in this pan. And what I want to do is very carefully, now because this is raw, I don't want to touch my utensil basically to the steak because it's raw. And we actually want to use the chimi sauce later. So I'm just going to put a few scoops right on top. And I am going to use this, but I'm not going to put it right back into my container, okay? So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to flip over my flank steak, and I'm going to add just a little bit more on there. Just kind of smear it, and by the time we come back, it'll be marinating for probably about 10 to 15 minutes, which is totally fine for today's show. I know some people wanted to make their chimney ahead of time, and so it's already been marinating, and that's totally fine. You can do it up to like a 2-hour time frame as well. So this is what we're going to do for right now. So remember, don't use this again. Put it off to the side. Okay, clean up my mess here. The next thing that we're going to be doing is our bacon rosettes. And seriously, you guys, these are so much fun to make, and I thought it was going to be just perfect for this event, especially for Valentine's Day. So in your kit, you'll have 2 pieces of bacon, okay? So I have this bacon kind of all laid out on my tray. And then you're going to have either one large potato or you had a couple smaller ones, okay? And then I was just using a grater. And so not too many people maybe have used this part of the grater, or maybe you have a mandolin. But what you're going to do is take your potato and you're just going to make some thin slices. Just be careful of that palm of your hand, okay? Make sure that's protected. So I kind of take it and push it down. And once you get a dozen, maybe 15 or so pieces done, you're going to have the nice rounds. You're going to start to shingle it on top of your bacon, okay? So I'm going to start here. Just shingle it, just overlap it just a little bit. You don't need to have a huge overlap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do a lucky 7. How's that? And then do it again over here. Okay, now this is where you're going to need just a little bit of salt and pepper, and then your Parmesan that we gave you as well. So a little bit of salt. The bacon is already salty, so you want to just be careful not over season it. So salt and a little pepper. We got Parmesan right down the middle. Now this is the key. In here we have, I just sprayed the inside of some muffin tins, okay? That's all that I have. So what I'm going to do now is take my bacon, and you're going to gently just roll it up, nice and easy. And then when it all comes together, you're going to have these pretty little bacon rosettes, and they're gorgeous when they're cooked. They're going to be nice and crispy on the top and cheesy and full of that bacon flavor. Now for some of you, maybe you got the vegetarian options, and so I just gave you, there's a vegetarian bacon, and you're going to do the same exact thing. So you line up 2 strips next to each other and line up those potatoes, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Okay, pop them into your tray, and then from here we're going to go ahead and pop them into the oven. So that's why your oven is pre-done for 400, and we're going to let these go for about 20-25 minutes. We'll come back to them. Don't forget to set your timer. Okay, so you can go ahead and just clean up your area, and then we're going to go ahead and start into the other items. One thing too for the vegetarian items, maybe you got the mushrooms. So I want to show you super quick on how you can actually prepare mushrooms. And these are going to be the portobellos. And so what you're going to do is just kind of, if you haven't done this already, or if you've never worked with a portobello mushroom, you're going to just kind of knock off that stem, And then very simple, your only tool that you need right here is a spoon, okay? So you're gonna take your spoon and you're just gonna kind of clean out, just gently shave out those gills. Because sometimes that's where like the dirt likes to hide, or maybe the bugs. So we don't want that, right? So you're gonna go ahead and clean that out. And then this is always what I've learned in culinary school is you're gonna take the very edge and you're just gonna, this is how you clean the top of them. They look really pretty this way. Okay, you just gently peel back that top layer. If you don't get all of it, that's fine. The secret is to not take a big chunk of mushroom with it. But you're gonna end up with this gorgeous piece. And then with this is the same thing. You can take your spoon, just take a little bit of the chimichurri, rub it on there. Okay, I'm going to be cooking this all together. And then just kind of rub it on there. And if you want to get your hands in there and kind of rub it all over again, you can do that as well. So either option, whatever you have in your kit, you're going to have those marinating. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be cooking our steak, and then we're going to get ready to do our dessert. And then also get ready for the other items that we have coming up. So thank you again so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in just a few minutes. Back to you, Bob.
All right, April, we'll check back. It looks good. Bacon really does, it makes life worth living, doesn't it? I think so. Yeah, so before we get to one of our first spotlights for tonight, first video spotlights, we want to talk about one of the neat things we have, one of the VIPs. This is a handmade book bag. It says Reins of Life embroidered on here. Has the snaps, it's really cool, and I have an opportunity to get that. And this is one of our VIPs for tonight. And drum roll, please. Like, you know, Christmas Vacation. And the winner of the bag is Hannah Lucas. Way to go, Hannah. Awesome, very good. I'll keep that, congratulations. And thanks, Hannah, for that. And also wanted to talk a little bit about something that's really cool here. You think about therapeutic horseback riding, right? And it sounds fairly simple. The child or the adult gets on and they eventually get more confidence and they're able to do riding on their own. Sometimes they have to be held on each side, some partner ride, etc. But there's also something called interactive vaulting. And I had to ask what that was. And it's pretty much kind of what it sounds like. It's like gymnastics. It's like the balance beam gymnastics, but you're on a horse. So your balance beam is moving. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. Doesn't take much, but it blew my mind. So let's hear from Ariana and Connor Vanderberg. They're taking part in an interactive vaulting program at Reins of Life. Connor started back in 2019, a couple of years ago. Ariana joined just this past August. They came to Reins of Life to focus on a lot of goals like active listening, patience, or social skills. And they're doing this vaulting, interactive vaulting program. You have to see this.
My name is Amanda, and I am one of the instructors at Reins. I happen to be one of the 2 interactive vaulting instructors, which is the discipline that the kids we are going to see today do. Connor actually was referred to us through his school system as someone who would benefit from receiving services. And when we looked at all of our programs, interactive vaulting seemed to be the best fit for him. And then when COVID hit and we started taking precautions for that, we had to separate the interactive vaulting team because it wasn't safe to have 6 kids from different households all together with their hands on each other, helping each other. So we switched interactive vaulting to only serve members of the same household for the time being, which is when Connor's younger sister Ariana joined. And it's really been great to have the 2 of them together because, you know, how often do siblings, even though they love each other, struggle to get along, struggle to communicate with each other? And in interactive vaulting, they're really working on all of those skills without knowing that they're working on those skills because they rely on each other to be successful. They have to tell each other what they need. They have to support each other physically and emotionally. So it's actually been kind of a really cool twist to work siblings together in interactive vaulting because of COVID. Their focus has improved Their attention to detail and directions has improved. One of the coolest things I saw was early on when Ariana joined, I had Connor help teach her the movements that he'd already learned that she hadn't. So it gave him a leadership opportunity, it gave him an opportunity to be a role model, and it gave him an opportunity to really practice kindness and empathy and his communication skills in teaching his sister. And then at one of the very first lessons, at the end of the lesson, I always have the students tell each other something they did well, tell the volunteer something they did well, and tell the horse something they did well. And Connor thanked Faye for keeping Ariana safe. Not for keeping him safe, not for being fast, but at the end of the lesson, his chosen praise to Faye was actually to pet her and to thank her for keeping his sister safe. And that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, we've seen a ton of benefits, for our own children, and I've seen a lot of growth with a lot of the kids that we work with within our special education program, just in regulating their emotions or building that confidence, all of those skills, even balance, tons of physical and kind of emotional or behavioral benefits that I've seen, at work and with our own kids.
I'd just comment on just the consistency of all the staff at the Reins of Life and how they're always helpful, positive, patient, kind, and it just creates a really good environment and really good example for all the kids to learn from and grow inside.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I think, room for problem solving on their own and building that independence and, I don't know, just responsibility in those types of skills. So I think that builds up their confidence and their knowledge that someone trusts them to do, what's right and what's responsible. So.
Yep.
All right, that is amazing. You look at just the ability to sit and hold your core tight and ride the horse regularly. And now, speaking of pommel horse, I mean, the horse thought, hey, I'm not pommel, I'm just a horse. But nonetheless, that's the way it works out. And it's really amazing to see how these kids, and I'm sure it's fascinating to watch as they get better and more confident on those horses, how they're able to literally not only get better at the idea of what they're trying to do, the gymnastics in essence on those horses, but the confidence that they're showing in their lives together. And I thought it was interesting how they talked about the mom and dad, and also the trainer talked about the whole idea of getting along together as siblings and having to work together. And I'm thinking, I know some siblings who could use that. Yeah, they live right down the hall from me, typically. And I'm sure lots of parents can relate to that as well. All right, just want to do a quick reminder, the silent auction items are still up and going. Check out the website, reinsoflife.org. All the information there. Feed the Need, of course, is still there. Any donation you could give would be great. Of course, if you could do a $2,000 or $3,000 donation for feeding a horse for a full year, that is wonderful. That's something that we typically do over the course of every year, and it really takes a lot of stress off the staff to make sure that those horses are taken care of, because while the children and the young adults are the star of the show, right behind that it would be the horses, and we have to take care of the horses as well, keep them, and especially in conditions like this, make sure they're safe and they're sheltered well, and of course fed. Jill Dawson just gave us a quick buzz and says she's loving the live cooking with April, and who doesn't, because April is fantastic. She's really good at what she does, and she has a great personality, so we all love that. One of the things we have now, another drawing, is this is to a $25 Jesus Latin Grill and Tequila Bar, and it's a gift card. So here's the deal. We're going to draw a name, and you have 3 minutes to get here. And if you're not here in 3 minutes, I get to pocket this. So I think that's fair. Don't you think that's fair? I think that's fair. I'm kidding.
If I can go with you.
that would be okay too. I'm kidding. You don't have 3 minutes. You have 4 minutes to get here. I'm kidding. We'll get this to you. And the winner is, drum roll again, Haley and Drew Conradi. All right. Way to go, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy a night out. Jesus Latin Grill and Tequila Bar, thank you very much for this donation, and we appreciate you drawing. If you haven't been there, it's really, really good. I know my co-anchor Leanne Tokars likes spicy food and spicy drinks, and she loves this place. And it's a really cool vibe, too, as well. So thanks to Jesus for participating with that. So, yes, absolutely. All right. So where do we go next? We are going to head out to Chef April in just a couple of minutes as she's getting ready for some of the good stuff out there. And hopefully you have all your ingredients ready to go and kind of laid out, because she's working through this process. And as we play along, just like my wife's a teacher, make sure you have your pencils and your papers and your notebooks ready to go. It's not time to start scrambling to find it. Everything's ready to go, and hopefully that's your case as well, as April's ready to move on as we continue to move on with our cooking this evening. This is going to be really good. Well, all right, April, what do you have?
Cheers, everyone. How's everyone doing? So right now, your potato rosettes should be in the oven, cooking away. Hopefully your kitchen smells glorious and like bacon, like mine does. So what we're gonna do next is, I've actually got my skillet. You can use a cast iron, which is my first choice, but definitely whatever kind of skillet that you have in your kitchen. So I have that on, and then I just put a little bit of extra olive oil just right into the pan, because what we're gonna do next is we're gonna sear this flank steak, okay, that's been marinating for the few minutes that we did. So while that is heating up, let's go ahead and get our desserts done, because these will take about 12 minutes for two, and if we get them in the oven around the same time, then everything should be done around the same time, okay? What we're gonna do, so in your kit, this was a super easy way to do it instead of measuring out everything, and this kit is delicious. So what you're gonna do is go ahead and mix up, I'm gonna add this. You should have had butter, okay? So 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna use the microwave. So you might have to run around your kitchen here for a moment, but you're gonna microwave this for about 30 seconds. Mine takes a second. Okay, so my butter is melting. Now while that's going, in your bowl, you're gonna want to, we're gonna crack an egg, and we're gonna use one packet, one silver packet that came with it. And then if you're making 2 like I am, you're gonna be using 2 of these cute little tins, okay? If you have some spray, you can go ahead and spray them down. Or run all over the kitchen with me. Okay. Now what we want to do is make sure that butter is nice and melted, and then we're going to add in our little packet. So the key, when you pick these up, myself or Carla, we were trying to encourage you to maybe get some vanilla ice cream. So hopefully you did that, because that is going to go fantastic with this at the end. Okay, got my butter. Next thing we're going to do is add in our little packet. Give it a nice little mix, and we are actually going to put this right back into the microwave. You're going to stir it for about 20 seconds or so. Just make sure it's all combined. Okay, then you're going to put it in the microwave for just 20 seconds, okay? Okay. So when that's going, we're going to crack our egg. We're going to see if you can do it without getting any shells in there, all right? So that is the secret. So I'm just going to crack it into my little container here. I wish I could see you all cooking with me. It'd be so much fun. All right. Then give it a good stir. Then we're going to add in our egg. We're going to stir it all up, whisk it all together. I'm going to turn down my pan. I had it on high, so I'm going to turn it to a medium right now. All right. Got this all nice and mixed together. Next, you're just going to evenly pour them into your cups. There's one, and it ends up being just about half full or so. And then these end up being like that chocolate molten. We're going to take them out where they're not going to look like they're done, but they are going to be done because they're going to be nice and runny. So we've got these. All right, those are done. Pop this over. Okay, now these are going to go into the oven, okay, for about 12 or so minutes. We're going to check on them. So if you haven't set your timer yet, then you should. At the same time, go ahead and check on your potato rosettes. You guys, they look so good. They're starting to really brown on the very top, and I can really smell that bacon start to render, so that's perfect. All right, so the next thing we want to do is actually start to sear our flank. So the flank steak it's best to have it sit out to kind of get to room temperature, and then we put a marinade on it, right? And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to sear it. Now, when you put it into your hot pan, you should hear that sound, and that basically is going to give it that instant sear, which gives it the caramelization that we want. So, let's see if we can hear it. Oh yeah. So it's going to be a nice sear. What's so great about flank steak is that we're only going to do about 6 to 7 minutes on each side. So I'm going to already be off. So it's up to you in about 6 to 7 minutes to flip your steak over, okay? The biggest thing is don't pick it up when you don't mess around with it. We're just going to leave it. And then at about 7 or 8 minutes, when you guys are still watching the show and keeping on, then you're going to go ahead and flip it, and it should release itself all by itself. You should never have to pull a steak up off of something because then you end up tearing it, okay? So it should just release itself. So leave it at that. If you have mushrooms, this is the perfect time to do the same thing. Go ahead, and I'm just going to put these on the side right here, and they're going to cook along. They can go ahead and touch it because it's all going to be cooked together and done. So it's up to about a medium rare. It's going to go for about 7-8 minutes, and then at 7-8 minutes you're going to go ahead and flip it. When we come back, your steak we should already be taking it out and having it rest, okay? So we'll see you back here in about another just few minutes. Happy cooking.
All right, April, thanks very much. We appreciate that. All right, we know that some folks are cooking along with us, and we're going to join them right now. We'll start with Kasia Derbyshevska and Matthew Rieken, as well as Jody and David Donathan. Hopefully everybody has their mics unmuted. All right, how's it going? Kasia, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Things are good. I think you can probably hear the sizzle
I can.
of the steak. So I'm going to flip the camera onto it so you can see what's happening. So things are going good right here.
Does it smell as good as it looks? Does it smell as good as it looks?
It smells delicious. The potatoes smell good. The cakes are in the oven. So we're ready to eat. You can smell the nice garlic.
Yeah, awesome.
Looks good.
You guys are cooking, literally. All right, also cooking, Jody and David Donathan. We appreciate you joining us as well. Of course, both of these families are very well connected with Reins of Life. They sometimes have writers, sometimes they're a part of the operations, but we thank you both for being with us. So Jody and David, what's going on with you guys? Love the hats, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going great. Yeah, steaks are over here.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Sizzling really good, so had to bust out 2 cast iron skillets because I didn't have a large one.
Yeah, it's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
So,
how's the bacon rosette coming? Does it smell good?
They're hanging out with
yeah, can you see them?
Oh yeah, that looks really good.
They're in there with the dessert. So.
Yeah, I notice you have 4 of them. So what time should I be over?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I'm begging or anything, but that's what we do, right? Hey, guys, we appreciate you being with us, and thank you so much for the opportunity to have us peek in and on the fun you guys are having. Congratulations. Cheers to all of you. April, you're doing fantastic. We're getting a lot of feedback that everyone's loving what you're having to say, so thanks, and we'll check back in with April in just a little bit. All right, so it is tradition for Reins of Life to have Lindsay Meekhof do a song. She is a phenomenal singer. This is her job. It's her profession. She's a singer. And they're really big, the Meekhof family. They love the Disney classics. And this one is a newer classic, but nonetheless, it is a classic. And Drew Conradi is also now a member of the Meekhof family, and he's also a really good singer as well. I wouldn't tell that to his face, but nonetheless, we're going to hear from him as well. So Drew Conradi, Lindsay Meekhof, singing a little Frozen, Love is an Open Door.
Can I say something crazy?
I love crazy.
All my life has been a series of doors in my face, and then suddenly I bump into you.
I was thinking the same thing, cause like I've been searching my whole life to find my own place. And maybe it's the party talking or the chocolate fondue.
But with you,
I found my place.
I see your face, and it's nothing like I've ever known before. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Love is an open door with you. With you. Love is an open door.
I mean, it's crazy.
What?
We finish each other.
Sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
I never met someone who thinks so much like me. Jinx! Jinx again! Our mental synchronization can't have but one explanation.
You
and I
were just meant to be.
Say goodbye to the pain of the past. We don't have to feel it anymore. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Love is an open door with you. With you. Love is an open door.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes!
Great. They're always good. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much for being part of this. And thanks again for everyone who's here tonight. Big, big thank you, of course, to Tire Rack and the other sponsors who are participating this evening. Those sponsors really make this possible tonight. So a big thank you to Tire Rack.
This man is about to buy tires on TireRack.com. And it's done! All that's left is to arrange for safe, easy installation at one of our independent recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Also, we need to say thank you to the other sponsors that we have tonight, along with the Tire Rack. Of course, we have the South Bend Clinic, University of Notre Dame, NIPSCO, Career Success Academy, and of course the Martin School of Cooking. So NIPSCO, Martin School of Cooking, University of Notre Dame, South Bend Clinic, Career Success Academy, and the Tire Rack, making tonight possible. So thank you very much. And I'm hearing a phone ring. That means folks are calling in. 833-970-4483, 833-970-4483. This is something that you can do if you're not necessarily comfortable with the website, if you're having an issue with the website or whatever the case. The website itself is reinsoflife.org, and you can go to that and you can get everything you need to know as far as statistics are concerned, all the information about what it takes to keep Reins of Life up and going. It's about $3,000 a horse, from the food to the farrier to vaccinations, the grain, everything that's needed to run these horses to do what they can to do to try to make miracles happen, really, for these kids and these young adults. About $125,000 needed overall for the entire herd. So obviously it is a significant piece of change that we need to try to rein tonight. So once again, the phone bank is 833-970-4483. You can donate or fund the need with your Give Grove homepage right now. And don't forget the live auction as well continues until about 8 o'clock, about another 45 minutes or so right now. We also need to recognize the community leaders for their efforts in empowering the others and celebrating the abilities of all with the Kelsey Meekhof Legacy Award.
I have the honor tonight of also introducing the winner of the Kelsey Meekhof Memorial Legacy Award. This award exemplifies somebody in the community that leads society towards inclusivity and also developing special skills in relationships with the special needs community. The award winner tonight is Paula Nichols. She is the Director of Special Education in LaPorte County. It encompasses over 2,000 students. She brings a bunch of classes out to Reins of Life and is a huge supporter of Reins of Life. Congratulations again to Paula, and thank you again, everybody, for attending tonight's event.
Mr. and Mrs. Meekhof, I want to thank you so very much for the award. I have it right here. I hope you all can see it. I am humbled and honored. My friends at Reins of Life are wonderful and have done so very much for the students that I serve. I've been so grateful to have had a career where I can be involved with people that I love, and Reins of Life has made such a wonderful difference in so many students. About 150 every year come out to Reins of Life. So thank you so very much for honoring me for something that I just enjoy and love so very much.
All right, so we are in the call center. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for being out here this evening. We have one call coming in. In fact, this is from Randy Harris, gave a $500 donation from Florida. Very nice. We love that. So tell us what you do with Reins of Life, why you're involved.
I've been out here for 14 and a half years. I started off as a sidewalker. I lead. I volunteer for all sorts of things, Reins of Life, and as a teacher, I also push students to, excuse me, take a phone call.
Phone. Hello. Hello. How about you? Yeah, tell us what you do.
I'm mostly, right now I'm feeding. I have worked in classes, but at this point I help feed in the morning.
Okay.
Even at 10 degrees.
Wow, even at 10 degrees. Well, you know, that's important though. Someone has to go out, right? It's all part, kind of like a farmer.
They have to eat.
They have to eat. They still have, I'm a big fan of eating. Yeah, speaking of eating, we're going to go back to Chef April in just a second. And it looks like they're busy on the phone as well. So this is, it's a great opportunity for everyone to participate tonight, whether you're cooking or whether you're donating, whatever the case may be. Just remember, $600,000, that's a lot of money for a nonprofit to try to raise, to do so much good for so many families and so many kids all around the area. And it's not just South Bend, it's not just Michigan City. The combined efforts, of course, is something that's very, very important to try to raise that money. And remember, there are live auction opportunities as well. Let me get some of the information about some of the live auctions up. If we could scroll some of that on the screen. Wanted to talk about some of the things that are up for grabs. There are smaller items. There are some bigger items as well. There are some spotlight items, and you can get all that information, including what we talked about earlier, the information about the Howard Park and the South Bend venues, parks and arts. You see Camp K9 Doggy Daycare. That also is up for grabs. We have a number of really cool items. There's an item here when we come back. I'll show you after we get off the screen, but it's a quilt and bag all together. It's handmade. That's a really neat thing. Here, I'll show you this as well, and then we'll go back to the screen and we can see some of the other items. But this is really cool. I'm not going to pull it out because I don't want to have to put it back together again. But it looks like just a pillow or something you can carry with you, but you pull out the bottom and it's a blanket as well. And it's really soft. I think the kids would love that. It's kind of a dual thing. So that's a really neat thing. So let's go back to the screen here to look at some of the other highlight items that would be available. We have baking at home with Ben's Soft Pretzels. Ben's Soft Pretzels, always popular. Thank you for joining us with that. Cocktails for two. Don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. Sesame Street Play package, as well as a summer outdoor basket. Vintage Charm, a self-care basket as well. So some really neat things that are up for grabs. You see some of the current bids, and of course there's no reason to say you can't bid against yourself. I'm okay with that. We don't have a problem with that as well. So whatever you can give tonight is something that would be greatly appreciated, and it would go toward the Reins of Life mission of making sure that these kids and young adults really get the confidence and the physical capabilities and the mental capabilities they need to continue to succeed at whatever level they have in their lives. And of course, it's so great for the parents as well. All right, we're going to head back out to Chef April as well as we are moving forward with our plans for the evening. Get ready to have a really good meal. Chef April.
Hi guys, how's it going in the kitchen? I am so excited. I wish I had a sous chef with me because I'm sure you guys have a special Valentine with you or a little group with you, and I'm so excited that you're able to join us tonight. Thank you for purchasing a pack and a little kit that we are able to create with us. We're almost ready to eat. Are you ready? So the last part here, what we're gonna do is cook off our vegetables. So you have a beautiful broccolini, which is just It's like baby broccoli, it has a nice, great stem on it. And so I just trimmed off the very end. And then in my pan, in my same cast iron, I've already taken out my steak. And it has been resting, my flank steak, and it's gonna rest now for just those few minutes. So yours should be out by now. It has gorgeous color on there and caramelization, or your mushrooms, whatever you used. And I'm reheating my pan. And what I'm gonna do is add in my broccoli into that same pan. Don't let it stick at you, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is our shrimp. Now we're gonna butterfly the shrimp, and butterflying just makes them open up and like look bigger. And so I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you're gonna take your shrimp, and you're just gonna take your knife, and you're just gonna finish the cut that was already down there, and you're just gonna finish it all the way to the very end, okay? So it's opened all the way from top to bottom, all right? You're gonna take that and just throw it right into your pan. I'll do another one. Just finish that cut all the way down. You're just gonna open up that very bottom part, just like that. Put it into your pan. You should have 4 shrimp that are in there. It's a pretty good size, which is gonna be enough just for everybody that you have. Do another one. Okay, and just lay those into there. Next, you can add a little bit of salt and pepper to your broccolini and to your shrimp. All right, now we're gonna start to really see those shrimp like just get enlarged and just kind of double up in size, and the same with that broccoli. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my broccoli because I want it to be tender, but I want it to still have that little bit of crunch factor to it. But it's gonna have that great caramelization. Again, that is just flavor, and that's exactly what we want is flavor. Okay, we got that broccoli flip. We're gonna go ahead and turn our shrimp. Oh, it smells so good. All right, we got that going. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna check on my potato rosettes because I think they are done because I can smell that chocolate and I can smell the bacon, so I think we're good. Look at those beautiful rosettes. I'm sure yours look even better. And then we have our desserts. And look, everything is done at the same time. How awesome is that? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start plating up. So here's the big push. You ready? Everyone, cheers, take a sip. Now we're gonna plate up for our lovely family members. So we're gonna take our steak, bring it over here to the middle. And what you wanna do is you actually wanna look at the grains of the meat, okay, or the meat fibers, and we're gonna cut across them because that's really gonna cut the meat lines. It's gonna make it more tender. So we're gonna cut at an angle, and this is gonna be a gorgeous medium rare. Now, if you wanna go longer and have it more well done, you can totally do that. It's not ideal for this piece of meat, but whatever your temp preference is, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and cut it. We're cutting it at a bias because then it actually like looks larger too. Because when we fan it out on our plates, it's gonna look beautiful. Okay. Next thing, what we're gonna do is start to plate our meal. So we have my plate here in front of me. I'm gonna take our beautiful flank, put it right there in the middle. I have the mushrooms too, and you can do the same thing with that. So I'll go ahead and add a mushroom because I know I did that. I did a couple extra. We're gonna add our broccolini. Now I'm kind of doing half because there's only one of me, unless my friends here in the studio want to share some. I don't know, I might have to share this meal. But kind of put that off to the side. My shrimp are perfect. They're gonna be so succulent and sweet and juicy. Okay, actually I'm gonna go up here because the star, I think it's like the star of the show. I love it. And this is the potato rosette. So I kind of cut around the edges here and just kind of lift it out. I'm sure you guys have kind of figured this out already, but we're gonna plate that up there. And look at when you open it up, it's just like this beautiful little rose. So I added just a little bit more oil to my chimichurri, and this is where you're gonna finish it off. And just kind of top it off because that gorgeous sauce. Now you're gonna end up with extra chimichurri, and this is perfect. You can make sandwiches the next day. You can put it in some pasta. You could even like put it in a little baggie or a little container and just freeze it for the next time. Totally fine, totally fine. Okay, set that off to the end. Make sure my oven is off, and the next thing we have is our dessert. So we have our main plate all nice and plated. Then we're gonna take our dessert, clean off my knife here, just kind of cut around the edges. Ooh, I can start to see it kind of goo out right there. I'm gonna turn it. Now, we did tell some of you to, or probably most of you, to get some vanilla ice cream. So we're gonna top it in there because it's just gonna melt. I know this was Carla and Dr. Meekhof's favorite addition was the vanilla ice cream. So we can add that. And then we're just gonna add a few of these fresh raspberries just for some color. Add a little love, add a little red to it. If you wanna really get creative, you can always throw like a mint leaf or something in there. But with all that, look at this gorgeous meal that we have created. I'm so excited. I wish I could sit at the table with all of you and just talk about all of the fun that we had tonight. And I really want to thank Reins for having me do this and for asking me to do this. It was truly an honor. I love Reins of Life. I have been on the board serving them, and I'm doing what I can as a mom of 2 riders. I've been on the board for about 3 or 4 years now. And I have 2 girls who ride, and my oldest one has been riding since she was 4 years old. And I know that she's walking because of Reins. So I'm very grateful. It's one of the most proudest things that I can do right now in my life is to be with Reins and know that I can serve on the board with them and do this amazing meal. So I hope that you are able to enjoy your meal all together. And with a toast from everybody, from myself, from my family to yours, happy Valentine's Day.
My name is Vicki, and I love working at Reins of Life because of the interaction of the horses, the interaction with the students.
Volunteering at Reins because I love working around the horses, and the people are great. The program is astronomical.
I like Reins of Life because you're able to just sit on a horse and ride it and just relax. You get to learn a lot of new things. Then you get to meet a bunch of new people and make friends.
My favorite thing about Reins of Life is watching all the horses and riders work together and continue to grow in their abilities.
There are a lot of reasons why I like Reins. One, they're all really nice, and then they're really accepting, and it's really fun too.
I'm here at Reins of Life because I want to do something to help others. And when I'm here at Reins, I'm surrounded by other volunteers with big hearts that want to do the same thing. And it just doesn't get any better than that. And that's why I love Reins of Life.
Pretty much says it all, huh? Love Reins of Life. All right, we have a couple of more quick giveaways, right? Yes, we do. Okay, so we'll go for the bowling first. This is with Strikes and Spares. We have free bowling, it looks like, what, for 3? Several free hours of bowling. Nice. Okay, very good. And this goes to Tracy Rendell, R-E-N-D-A-L. So congratulations, Tracy, on that. And look at this. Look at these great cookies. They look delicious. Perfect. Look at that. This comes from the Vintage Cookie Mill. I don't know if you guys can get a look at that. If you can see that. That's some good looking cookies. I could do some cookies.
A silent auction item for a do-it-yourself.
Here, hold on. Say that again.
It's a silent auction item for do-it-yourself, so you can make those cookies
Oh,
yourself.
neat. So it teaches you how to make them yourself.
Keep going on the auction and look for that in the silent
Awesome.
auction
Okay,
item.
great. Yeah, this is a $30 value, and they're buttercream and sugar cookies. And the winner for this is, as I eventually get it open, Stephanie Putzer. Stephanie, congratulations. All right, that's really nice. So we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet, but we're getting there. Wanted to say a big thank you to Chris Franz, who just sponsored a rider, so that's an awesome thing, Dorota, and also Peter Coles and Emily Heasley. They ended up giving a rather large equine partnership on Fund to Need. So that is so important to see what that means for not only the horses for your operation, but also what it means for the kids and the young adults who are out there changing their lives.
Yes, absolutely. We are able to make a difference for many people, not only riders, but families. We are giving them hope and something unique to do that they don't have time anywhere else. Fun, at the same time giving them some improvement movements that keeps them more engaged and appreciated, and making their lives interesting.
The stories are truly amazing. When you hear the stories, the parents will come up, and sometimes the kids will tell the stories of what they were like going into it, the hesitancy, the fear sometimes, and as they continue to progress, they start to see things in their kids that they have never seen before, and it truly is amazing to see some of the things the stories that come out of some of these families.
I think the big thing for us is that inclusion and acceptance, that they are feeling like part of something they cannot do on daily basis other places, and we are one big family, and you see those smiles and first works, first talks, first spellings. You know, we can count our great observations every single day. Miracles happen.
Yeah, confidence is such a wonderful thing, and this is where they're growing that confidence. We have some dessert here. We're going to try that in just a second, but I also want to give you a couple of quick reminders. Don't forget the phone bank is up and going for the next few minutes as well. 833-970-4483 if you'd like to fund a need, or if you want to make a donation of other sorts, or if you want to maybe make a bid if you're not comfortable with the website, whatever the case may be. Reins of Life as well, reinsoflife.org, that's the website. And don't forget to, as you're sitting down and having your great meal and enjoying your wine, take a picture of it, put it on your social media with the hashtag Love Conquers All. We'll be sharing that as well. So don't forget also the items that are up for bid on the silent auction. That's until 8 o'clock tonight, so you can continue to bid as well. You can see a lot of the great items that are currently on your screen right now, whether it is from Venues, Parks, and Arts. So you can see a Salon Rouge package, a number of items that are out there, including a really unique Notre Dame football package, this 2018 season Notre Dame college football football itself is something that came from the university, and Coach Brian Kelly, as he donated that, and that is a commemorative ball that recognizes the season they had. This is not just a regular commemorative ball. You can't get your hands on that, so that has a very high dollar value as well. So we appreciate the coach for taking part in that. Don't forget, in-kind donations can be made as well. If you can't make a donation tonight, they'll accept it at any time at your South Bend and Michigan City locations. You can find that information at reinsoflife.org. And also another big thank you tonight to our sponsors this evening. The platinum sponsor is Tire Rack. The silver sponsors, the South Bend Clinic, the University of Notre Dame, Career and Success Academy, and NIPSCO. And also a big thank you to the guys and ladies here at EventSys who put all of this together and allowed us to come in and made this possible to show up in your home. So we appreciate that. Ready to eat? Let's eat, right? I would say a cheers, but all I have is a bottle of water. And
Hey, did you guys know TireRack.com has brand new waiting rooms featuring my favorite coffee, home brewed, y'all. They got toast, a picture of me and Russell. Here's a weird light fixture. My wife likes it. And check out the view to the service bay. That's Rudy. He's working hard.
TireRack.com now offers contact-free mobile installation, turning your living room into your waiting room. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Say hey, Russell.